I can't stay still. I've been rolling over up and down these hills. Pay bills, rent's due, so I got to go and find my will. Lil' me, couldn't dream. No, I've seen in the same jeans. He been seeking, leaking. Looking down my eyes, I've been crying every single night. I do not care about logic, I just really want to fight. If you got something, say it.
Good evening, Fredonia. You're listening to the local lowdown on WCVF 88.9 The Voice and WDVL 89.5 The Inferno. I'm Elena, your co-host and field interview lead.
Hey, what's up? It's Jordan. I'm your other co-host. I'm also the A&R lead and the executive producer.
Hey, it's Sebastian, your technical director. Everything's going well tonight, and we're going to have a great show.
Heck yeah. Tonight's show is brought to you by Fredonia Radio Systems in a group effort to promote and showcase the local music scene right here in Fredonia, but also Western New York at large. Welcome to the Local Lowdown.
And on this week's episode, we are introducing our guest, Nick Mass.
How's it going, guys?
Good.
How's it going?
Yeah, awesome.
It's good. Long road ahead for me to get here. But,
Oh, yes.
That's I'm blessed to be here.
Yes.
So yeah.
We really appreciate it. Yeah,
Excited to chat.
exactly. And we like to start off by having you introduce yourself and what you do in music. You also have a lot of projects, both musically and creatively. How did you get a start in music in particular?
So yeah, I'm Nick Mass. I like to say rapper, painter, creative dude. It's not a good tagline, but it's mine. And as far as like musically, how I started rapping, I probably started writing poetry around when I was 15 or 16. And it was about as good as any other 15-year-old's poetry. But I got a job at actually the Walmart deli, funnily enough. And I was starting to try to put it to beats by then, but it was just not on beat. I had no rhythm whatsoever, and it was just a horrible, horrible attempt at whatever I was doing. But there was actually one of my coworkers there that was a rapper at the time, and he sat me down. Well, he didn't really sit me down. He pulled me aside in the kitchen and was like, "Listen, man, it's not working. You need to... here's the beat."
There you go.
He did this for me. And then I caught it, and then all of a sudden it was like I unlocked a part of my brain. Like I stopped using 10% and started using 20, and it was like, oh. And then I started writing songs more so to beats instead of just writing poems and then trying to apply them. And I did that for probably like 2 years before I even really attempted to record. I probably had about 20 or 30 songs written. And then my friend Justin, shout out JT Hush, actually gave me my first recording session at his house, and nothing came out of that besides experience. They were terrible, everybody's first attempt. But yeah, and then as far as like growth from there, just started trying to record at my house a bunch, got some equipment, and then wrote for the next like couple years, went to a few open mics, got some experience on stage, discovered performance was like what I really loved about music. Not that I dislike recording, but just performance is like one of my favorite things in the world. And there's actually, again, another shout out Wordism, Jumani and Alicia up in Buffalo Wordism, which is actually a poetry open mic. But it's like a non-competitive poetry open mic. It's not like a poetry slam.
Awesome.
And I was the only like rapper amongst them. It was mostly just poets, but they welcomed me with open arms and really showed me a whole lot of love. And from that point on, I started trying to get booked for sets and stuff, and just released my project, Cigarette Vending Machine, in January.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Gotcha. And are you still going to that? Is it Wordism, you said?
Wordism, yeah.
Still using...
So I haven't... I went to like every Wordism for about a year and a half, right around 2021 when they came back from the pandemic. I didn't go before they got stopped doing it for the pandemic, but once they returned, I saw it at Step Out Buffalo. Shout out Step Out Buffalo, which has given me so much life. But yeah, I saw it and was like, all right, I need to get out of the house and try something. And then went for about a year and a half, became a part of their community. Beautiful, beautiful people. Then I started working Saturday nights and couldn't go anymore.
Gotcha.
And now I don't work Saturday nights currently. That'll probably change very soon just because I'm running out of money. But I try to go to a Wordism every once in a while. Now I just can't consistently go.
Nice. I also think that's really interesting. I feel like a lot of musicians have that one moment where they like all of a sudden click with their perspective instrument or style or anything like that. I liked how you described it as the 10% to all of a sudden using 20. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And that's interesting that it was at a Walmart deli, you were saying?
Yes.
Right? That's funny, yeah.
And fun fact about the Walmart deli is that they they throw the ends of the like ham or whatever in a bucket, and then they put the bucket in a dumpster at the end of the night, and then they sell it to farmers so that other pigs can eat that.
Oh.
And that's really cool about the Walmart deli. Anyway, enough of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
That was a huge inspiration in my career.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
well, just to transition away from the pigs that influenced your
Okay.
career, I want to mention your tagline: self-described rapper, painter, creative dude. That's in like your bio every single time I found it.
Yeah.
What was the reason for including dude in there?
Because it just sounds stupid without it. Like, it's just like rapper, painter, creative. It's like, stop taking yourself so seriously. I was actually talking to you, I believe, on the drive up when we found each other. I think I said something about improv comedy.
Yeah.
And that was around the same time as I found Wordism. I actually, Buffalo Comedy Sports, shout out them. I took a bunch of improv classes there.
Yep.
And they really got me to just be personable and to be able to talk to people. I grew up until about the age of 20, just super socially, like, I don't know, I was just, the word for it, I guess, is just like isolated. I was isolated. I wasn't in any sports and any clubs or anything like that. And Buffalo Comedy Sports like was my first time being in a club of sorts, and like being around other people and developing social skills. Like, people take improv classes not to become a comedian. They take it to, well, some people do, but some people just take it to get out of their shell.
Right.
And,
Right.
So I did that and did want to, I was lucky enough to have my first relationship at the time, and my partner was like, "You're funny, you should take the classes," because we had gone to a couple of shows and they always mentioned it. And I was like, "I'm not funny," and they're like, "You should take the classes," and I'm like, "I want to," and they're like, "You should," and I'm like, "I'm not gonna," and then they were like, "Okay, you should do it," and I was like, "Okay, I'll take them," and then I was horribly, horribly afraid for about 5 weeks until, again, something clicked, and then the power of, like, the mushroom in Mario or something. I'm gonna keep making analogies, but, yeah, so I did comedy sports, and then it's just sort of had an effect on me to where I'm just not afraid to be stupid or silly or whatever, and it's sort of just part of who I am, and I believe in just fully bringing that to my forward-facing personality.
Yeah.
I mean, we all have, like, it's weird to talk about, we all have versions that we present ourselves to the world, especially with social media, and I don't want, just because I talk about serious topics in my music or serious topics in my artwork, I still want people to just know that we can have a good time. So I'm just a dude, just like everybody else.
Yeah.
Right.
I like that. Well, you mentioned some other things you do, but you're interested in improv comedy, video editing, event curating, clothing brand owning, wearing it right now. It's
Yeah.
cool.
The butterfly in
I
him.
like that.
Awesome.
A lot of other things also. But how do you feel that your different creative, what's the spectrum, and is there a lot of overlap in all the different mediums that you work in?
Sure. So, like, a great example is, like, performing on stage with improv comedy. I mean, a lot of the stuff that I do, like, on stage is just because I'm not afraid to do it. And if I was afraid to do it, and then I would probably just do my rehearsed lyrics and not really add a whole lot of flair to it. So the improv comedy affects that in a great way. And then the performance aspect affects the recording. I usually don't record a song immediately. And that's not really out of, like, purpose, I would say. It's just because I write it and then I'm lazy maybe, but then I perform it a few times. It develops. There's this part in Wired where I start screaming and then it goes back to, like, the high-pitched voice and it's like, patience. And that was just something I did one time on performance because I ran out of breath.
Yeah.
And then it was like, that was awesome. Stick that in the real version. And like crossover between my music. Well, the main two things are visual art and music. And then so far I've had 2 solo exhibitions for my artwork. And at both of the openings for those, I've made sure to do a 30-minute set. Just because I don't want to. The art and music scene in Buffalo is connected, but it's not as connected as it could be.
Okay.
And I make sure to bring both of the communities that I'm in together in that, where just expose them to different sides of myself. And the Heartbreakers exhibition, which was my most recent show at Buffalo Institute for Contemporary Art, shout out Bika. I just have so many people I'm grateful for. I'll probably just say shout out every 2 minutes. But that was also my album release party. So I just try to make sure that people know about everything I'm doing and don't try to be like, okay, I'm in music mode or okay, I'm in art mode.
Right.
Like,
You want it all to be seen.
Yeah, I just believe in being your full true self.
Yeah.
And that comes into play with the helmet and that comes into play with the heart piece. And just making sure that every aspect of what I bring can be seen.
Yeah. And you're mentioning a lot of like the commonalities and how they tie together between the different mediums that you work with, but how do you feel they differ from each other, both within the creative process and also just the reception of them all, especially when you bring them together?
So the difference between, I mentioned that I was very isolated as a child, and I would say that both of them tend to be very much in isolation as far as like visual creativity and like musically. I pretty much I'm not one of those people that are like, I'm going to write a verse every day or something like that. And that's great for the people that do that. That's how their brain works and that's how they produce. I'm much more of like, I only write music when I'm feeling strong emotions, whenever it hits me. And then with visual art, that's not necessarily the case. Visual art, it's usually a much more thought out process. I think of an idea and then I execute it over time. Not always. There's some spontaneity in there as well, and I mean the flip side with music as well, vice versa. But those are sort of different in the processes. And then as far as like creating, it's just sort of like I just think the music is much more a moment in time than, but I'm not to say the artwork isn't, but the artwork is usually a culmination of experiences I've had over the course of years or so on.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you ever feel like the various mediums inspire one another? So does your visual art ever inspire your like music writing process at the time?
Yeah. So I even just like I said, my most recent exhibition was called The Heartbreakers. So The Heartbreakers is a series of collage work that is the general idea behind it is just how sometimes sexuality can come before love and how that brings issues. I was in a 4.5-year relationship with my first partner, and it wasn't like she had a lot of health issues, which I don't know if I could talk about this on the air, but I don't know. She had a lot of health issues, which caused our sex life to be not very good, and it was my first relationship growing up. So in like that, I sort of just, my mind always wandered. I never like did anything with anybody else, but I was always thinking about other women, and that's sort of what the Heartbreakers was about, and that just made me sort of come to terms with that as I was making those figures, which has sort of affected just who I am and how I understand myself, which in turn makes my music more self-reflective, more just understanding myself. And yeah, I guess that's the best way to answer that.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, well, I wanted to talk about one other art project that you haven't touched on yet, which is the Puzzle Project.
Puzzle Project.
It was your first exhibition, right? Before
yes,
the
at
Heartbreakers.
the Crucible Art Collective. Shout out.
Yeah, but you had a a poem that was hung up on the wall there. I saw in the recap that you posted, and that was this. A man who had become a puzzle, solvable to the last piece, but always misplacing it, likely slipping under the couch, attainable, but just out of reach. What is the personal meaning of that to you, and how did it inspire the puzzle project?
I didn't write that.
Okay.
So my buddy, Zach Rohde.
Yeah, that's what I got here.
Okay. You already know. Deep research for only a couple days. Thank you.
Of course.
But Zach Rohde was one of my best friends over at Lockport High School. And he actually worked at NCCC. He had already graduated through his program by the time that I started school. And the puzzle project had begun about 4 years before that. And I don't know if it was just because I was around him that much that he was thinking about the idea of puzzles. But he wrote that one day and showed it to me, and I was just like, this needs to be... I need to make like an installation around this. So there was a couch with a coffee table with 23 puzzle pieces on it that were all connected, and then one piece that was not in there that was not painted. It was just a broken piece of wood, essentially, that I had slipped under the couch. But its relation to the puzzle project in general, like how I feel about that poem in relation to the puzzle project. Context for the puzzle project is that it's essentially just about the interconnectivity of life's pieces, which we touched on a little bit with how I'm in so many different scenes right now and how they all affect each other. I'm just a big believer in, I guess, butterfly effect type stuff, and how an example that I always give for the puzzle project and its meaning and how things fit together randomly is that, and it's all just coincidence, but so I had a long day in the summer in 2023 where I used to run a football team. That's also one of my very bad, no good football player, it says on my artist statement.
Yeah, I saw that.
You did? Yeah. Wonderful. I have no idea where you got that.
It was also like a home chef or something.
Home cook,
yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so I started my day, played a football game. We got pushed in. It was very bad. And we lost by like 3 scores. Then, and this is a heat of summer, I go to Buffalo Institute for Contemporary Art. I wasn't a member of their program there yet. I was just sort of going to check it out. They had Open Essex, which was just like an art market. I met Nando and Emily there, who are the co-founders there. And I was just there. I was there for a long time. I was there for like 3 hours. Then I went to a family event, which I saw my cousin Louie at. And I had not seen Louie in a long time, maybe like 2 years or so. And yeah, that just happened. I was there for a few hours. I specifically talked to Louie for about an hour or so of that. And then I went to Wordism that night as well, I believe. But anyway, the point is that a year later to the day of that day, I was a member of Beaka School, and I was performing for Porch Fest, which in Buffalo, if you're aware of Porch Fest, is just people use their porches as stages. Beaka was just using a garage. Not technically Porch Fest, but it was Porch Fest.
Garage Fest.
Yeah, Garage Fest.
It counts.
It counts. And none of my family had ever seen my music or anything like that. They had seen my visual artwork, but they found out I made music. They're like, you have a show? And I'm like, yeah. And then who else? But my first performance at Beaka, Louie comes in and watches me perform and is the first person to see me do my music a year later to the day at the location that I was at. Wow. It's just a weird thing how stuff works, and that's sort of the meaning behind the puzzle project.
Awesome. Well, I wanted to read a quote that we found about the project. Each puzzle piece represents a year or era in your life, and every splotch is a small moment that affected your life. Life, after all, is just a culmination of memories and experiences, while some moments feel bigger. Life is all about the small things. With that quote in mind, I was about to ask if you intend to keep the puzzle project in your life or puzzle pieces in general, but I see you even have the earring, and I believe some tattoos if I saw two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The two that connect right here.
Yeah.
Oh, that's sweet.
Shout out the Crucible. They're also a tattoo studio at the Crucible.
Oh, okay.
Awesome. Yeah, but how do you feel like you're going to continue on the puzzle project throughout your life, or is it this symbol that you have currently?
Well, the puzzle
What do you
project
have?
isn't done. So I had the exhibition January 2023, but I only showed 18 of the pieces. So the puzzle project total has 48 pieces, and they're all about 2 by 2 feet or so, all made of OSB board. I'm just getting into random material stuff right now. But there's 48 of them. 18 of them were in the show. I plan on having 3 exhibitions of them. That was the one where it's like beginning, then one where it's like almost finished, probably around 35, and then the finished one. And then sort of trying to scatter those around the United States in some way, one or another. But the puzzle project isn't done. I have taken a very, very long break from it. There's been a lot of other stuff going on, and I've sort of just believed, because it is all about life's pieces and experiences that interconnect, I want to experience more things before I finish it. And also, I don't have time. But it's the excuse I make, I guess. But I plan on it being done around 2030, I would say. But I have not worked on it in about 16 months. But the Heartbreakers were sort of in interconnection with the puzzle project because the Heartbreakers are made of the collage work that are made of paint scraps from the puzzle project's paint process. So I try to, even when I'm not working on the puzzle project, connect it to my other visual work in one way or another. And even this T-shirt, which has like the butterfly on it. The butterfly is made of the cardboard scraps, which the original piece is made of the cardboard scraps, which come from the puzzle project.
Wow. Yeah.
And then, boom,
Keeps going.
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah, I don't know.
I actually recognized those cardboard scraps. I knew.
You did.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're familiar enough, yeah.
Right. But yeah, talking about just interconnectedness, you recently released an EP, which the exhibition was also kind of like a release show for that as well. It's called Cigarette Vending Machine.
Yes.
If you haven't heard it yet, you should check it out. Really awesome project.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It was a long time in the making. I know you mentioned that you had made some albums and scrapped them just because you weren't ready to record and such.
Yeah.
So what is it like to have these songs out now?
It's surreal. It's really surreal.
That's awesome to hear.
Especially because some of the songs are from the original album that I wanted to put out, which was a 7-track that was going to be out around 2019. But I hadn't developed the confidence to put stuff out. And to be fair, I was right in that because my mixing process was not. I'm broke, like most musicians that are always small musicians, and like I can't afford studio time, so I had to improve my mixing and mastering and stuff. And I'm not even going to say I did a great job on it, but I got my point across. But like there's 2 tracks on it that were from the original I Like to Take Showers in the Dark, which was my first EP or album title, and I called it an EP, but it's got 8 tracks, so like, is that really an EP? I don't even know. But Bottle is on it, which I never get to perform because it's a song that's sort of anti-alcohol, and I guess not anti-alcohol, but just like anti-alcoholism.
Yeah, I heard that in the lyrics.
Yeah. So me and my friends at the time were just college age, and we were drinking a whole lot. And I sort of fell into that, and my buddy I saw was struggling with it a lot. So it was sort of a letter of love to him and trying to get him to stop, and me to realize myself that I need to stop. And then Wired, which which is also on the project, was also on I Like to Take Showers in the Dark, but originally did not have the screaming part on it. Just sort of the first verse, and that was it.
Gotcha.
I was just driving in my car one day, and I didn't like this other song. Took the second verse off of that, put it on Wired. Don't know why I was angry. Started screaming. First time I ever like did something like that, and then I was like, "Oh, that's great." But Wired and Bottle survived.
So that was the first time you ever screamed.
Yeah, and I'm not. I mean, to be entirely honest, I'm not really like a screamo or like hardcore type music person for the most part.
Yeah.
I enjoy going to the shows definitely and feeling the energy,
yeah.
but the
Right.
recorded versions, I don't really listen to them that often.
Yeah.
And yeah, so it was, I don't know, I literally have no idea where it came from.
Yeah. It's a cool dynamic though,
Yeah,
because I feel
I
like in a
agree.
lot of the music, the beats and the production, it could be so laid back, and then you're just screaming your
Screaming
brains
over
out
it.
over it. It's a really cool contrast to me.
Lo-fi hip-hop beats to sleep, to relax to.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. I'm curious, with so much that you had already, what was the process and what made you choose some of the certain songs that you ended up putting on the EP?
So let me see. Let me go through the track list in my head. Ickies. Ickies I had recorded that summer and just sort of believed that I wanted to put new music on this project, even if a lot of it was old. And I thought that it was one of my better recorded efforts. I also just was going through a lot of relationship stuff at the time, and Ickies was important to me. Like, if you hate me, leave me. I don't give a blank. But yeah, so and just like moving a bit less from. There's still that duality between lo-fi stuff and like jazzy type beats, but it's like the evolution of that, I suppose, where it's not just lo-fi stuff and just moving more into the jazzy realm.
Yeah, I could see that in like the horn sample in that one.
Yeah.
I love that song, by the way.
Yes.
It's a really great intro track. It catches my ear for sure.
I'm indifferent at this point. I don't know
Really?
why. I don't know why. Everybody loves Ickies. I think it's because I don't really like performing it.
Okay.
But it's also like that's something to talk about, which I talked about recently with some friends. Was that that like songs that so that was a song that I recorded immediately, and I said to you guys before that I usually like perform it for a few months before I even attempt to record.
Yeah.
Right.
And that was a song I recorded immediately, so I still technically really don't have my voice with that one for performance. And like the same is true with 532, where I don't really know the best way to perform it. And I feel like since the recorded version came first, and I was so proud of the recorded version, that I'm doing it like an injustice in a way. But yeah, I don't know what tangent I just went on. But yeah, so 532 and Ickies are the newest tracks on the album. Those were recorded in the summer of 23.
I could see that.
And then Damn they were all recorded besides, so Bottle was recorded like 4 or 5 years ago and then added some new stuff recently. 532 and Ickies were recorded in the summer of 23, and then everything else was recorded new, but it was like still old tracks.
Gotcha.
And trying to get back to the original question, but why did I add like Damn? Damn was just very, very important to me because of its evolution, I guess, and like the way that I've seen crowds react to it. And people just love participating in that.
Oh,
and,
absolutely.
I love the piano sample on it. I want to go over more stuff like that. And how the crowd reacts to the performances just affects a lot of what I want to put on the album. And Damn was written on a very, very snowy night where I'm smoking cigarettes out of my window at my apartment. In my home studio, which had like all my paint stuff and all of my computer and no room to walk whatsoever. And Damn was very important. 532. That's my best mix and effort, I would say. It's just the most well produced that I have. Trying to think of what comes after 532. You don't know your track list?
No, I'm trying to remember.
I think it might be Maybe. Which is...
You haven't mentioned that one yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that I haven't really mentioned Maybe because I'm not happy with the mix, the final product. But I think I put it on the project because there was deadlines. So with the Heartbreakers exhibition, that was set months and months before.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I'll be ready for that. I've done this before. And then on the flyer for the Heartbreakers, since I hadn't released anything ever, I was just like... Okay, I painted on EP release party onto the flyer, and I was like, "You're gonna release it because you told everybody that it's gonna come out." And Maybe was during like my first I recorded that during like my first breakup of my entire life. We were about 2 years in to the relationship. We got back together after, but maybe I was drunk off of 2 Tall Boy Labatt Blues on the floor in my apartment, and she wasn't there. She was at her parents. And then let it wear off, drove to Wordism later in the night. And she showed up, and she was going to perform a piece which was unusual. She had never gone on stage before. And it was sort of just going to be like a I'll show you kind of thing, I guess. But I was trying to like heal in my community, so I was very distraught about that. And then I performed maybe there, so it was sort of like a very important moment.
Wow.
Yeah.
And like a couple hours after I wrote it.
Yeah.
And I think it's some of my best poetry, like going back to poetry instead of hip hop. It's a very poetic song. Wired, it's great. I don't know what else to say about why it's on the project. It's fun and different. Rice Noodles is one of the most important songs in my life. I believe I was saying something to you guys before just about how it is like one of my true love song. Like it's my only one true love song where everything else is me sort of, I say in Friends, which is unreleased, which I'm doing for the performance, that I'm so sick of venting in these songs just because like everything's always wrong. But Rice Noodles was just good and like talking about my love life. And then Parking Lot Warrior was after my final breakup with my first relationship and immediately jumping into a new relationship, which, was a whole thing. And then I'm definitely missing one track. But
I don't think you said Broken.
Bottle.
Oh,
Bottle.
a bottle.
Yeah, and I talked about Bottle before.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm missing then.
I think that's it.
Okay.
I think you're right. Yeah.
Yeah. What about just the sound of Parking Lot Warrior? Because that one's, it doesn't have any screaming on it, and it's almost not even really rapping at times.
No, it's very folk.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like, I guess, like I said, it was just my first. So I went through 4 breakups in that relationship, and we kept getting back together. And that was the one where I guess, like, I really, really knew it was done.
Yeah.
And I've always, I wouldn't even say necessarily that my most listened to genre is hip hop. It was for a period of time, but now is more so like soft indie or garage or stuff like that. Some folk here occasionally. Kate Bollinger is a really great pop folk artist, if you two are familiar at all.
I don't think I am.
Yeah.
Look them up. It's amazing.
Wait, how was it? Was it with the B?
Kate Bollinger. Bollinger might help you.
I think I've heard the name and never listened to them, though.
Yeah. Faye Webster, too. I mean,
She's
obviously.
awesome.
I think they toured together at some point. But both of them and...
I just wanted to say, I thought I remembered that name. Yeah, Kay Bollinger is like, that was like my big artist in high school.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah.
gotcha.
I love her song Candy. That song is like...
That was...
Sebastian always gets the references.
Yeah.
Candy was...
Whenever we don't, he's got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's either...
It works out.
But yeah, no, great artist. Yeah.
Candy specifically was like one of me and my partner's songs. Like if we were to describe the entire relationship, Candy would probably be in our top 5 like songs that we listened to. And we saw her 3 times perform, I believe, and every single time just in the crowd, nobody's moving around, and like it's sort of a stiff crowd. They're all just paying attention to her and giving her full attention, and that's a beautiful moment as well. But me and her are just in the crowd, like arms wrapped around. You're sweet like candy, and it's I don't know. I love Candy, and Kate Bollinger actually got me through some really rough times working Amazon delivery, listening to her songs on repeat.
Yeah.
In the dead of Christmas season.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Busy time. Yeah, well, I wanted to talk about one other thing with the project, just in terms of its whole theme and ethos and everything. What about the title? Where did that come from, and how early on was that in the process?
So Cigarette Vending Machine, I thought of probably 2 years ago, just the name of it, and I was just like, and not even thinking of it as an album name, I was just like, this is an awesome band name. Like, imagine a band called Cigarette Vending Machine. You want to go see them when you see them that on a flyer.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, so I never ended up joining a band of any sort, and I still do want to get into live instrumentation for my performances, and working on something with that. I don't want to say working hard on that, but we're developing some jams a little bit.
Okay.
But Cigarette Vending Machine was just because I'm an addict. I consider myself I have an addictive personality. And the idea of a cigarette vending machine is that you have this very addictive thing that's always in reach. It's so easy, put a quarter in, you get a cigarette. And they used to, I don't know how, they just used to always be around.
Yeah.
Like, you could go to a bar, they'd be in the bathroom. Nando, I believe, over at Bika had told me that he would go to the tennis court as a child with his mom. And his mom would play a game of tennis and then get a cigarette from the cigarette vending machine, and the duality of that is crazy.
Yeah.
I actually used to, when I was on my gym, sorry, when I was going to the gym a lot, I would have a cigarette before I went in, which is much different than what Nando's mom was doing, having one after. I don't know why I did that to myself, but in
either way.
Either way, it's bad. I just started smoking a lot, and it sort of became like my one addiction, where before, like I mentioned a bottle, I was abusing alcohol. I wouldn't say I was ever like a crazy alcoholic, but I would be having 3-4 drinks a night, which isn't good. It's not like a fifth of whiskey or anything, but it's not good.
Yeah.
So I guess the idea of cigarette vending machine is that addictions are easy to fall into.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I did now want to switch it over a little bit more to a more specific song, 532, which you have a music video for. And we're going to shout out Silas Rubeck, who
I was
you
going to
worked
try
with.
to...
Always getting a shout out.
Yeah, who you worked with for this music video. And I must say, the actual components of the music video, it's visually very interesting. It's a little trippy. I know after I watched it, I just went, wow, that was really cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Me too.
of
I was
course.
pretty floored by it.
Yeah. But what was that like working with Silas and just creating the music video as a whole?
Silas, I love you. Seriously. You're one of my best friends, and I love you so much.
It's awesome.
Silas is amazing to work with. I'm very anti-collaboration. Not in the way of that I don't want to, but I can never seem to mesh my ideas with somebody else. Silas is very, very easy to work with. And we just seem to always be on the same page one way or another. I had met Silas at group chat. I don't know if you guys are familiar with group chat at all.
Yep.
Familiar.
Oh, Wavy came on, and Shango. So I performed at group chat 9 in January 2023. Silas had come up to me. I was very, very high. They were like, that was cool. I was like, cool. And then I ignored them the rest of the night because I was not sociable at all. Like, after my performance, I was just, like, dead. And then Silas started to do visuals for group chat. They started doing these TV stacks, and I ended up performing again at group chat 13, which was the finale.
It's like almost a year ago at this point.
Yes, so there's a reunion show.
Yeah, we've been hearing about it.
Oh, I don't know. It's not announced yet,
Yeah.
but I would love to see you guys there. I'm performing. But Silas doing visuals. So 532 came around. Silas had been doing great music videos for lots of people in the Buffalo area. I think that they're the best music visual person in Buffalo, New York. And we just I sort of just called them and was like, I want to do this video. They loved the song. They had discussed how they wanted to make like a visual tape with a bunch of different music artists from Buffalo on, which is sort of a visualizer, not even music videos. So they wanted to put that on there, and then we were like, let's just do a whole music video. Silas, we had discussed how we wanted to do it. Silas was on their way to my house. They were about 10 minutes away. I had called them, and I was like, I really want to do it like a shower scene. And like, I just want to make sure you're comfortable with that because I want to get naked. Like, I want to actually like do the shower scene.
Yeah.
Because it's 5:32, the idea of getting up in the morning, you need to shower and just get ready. And Silas was like, I was thinking the same thing. And I was going to ask you if you were comfortable with it.
Wow.
And then we just did it.
Just on the same page.
Yeah, and it was professional and everything, and it was just great to do that. And probably did 5 takes or something like that. We're trying to be as spontaneous as we can with certain things. There's a scene where there's birds flying off of a wire that's like transparent over something else. And we saw flocks of birds, like huge hundreds of birds flying around. And I was like, there's that part in the song where it's like I can never remember my lyrics unless I do the whole song. But
no, that's fair.
there's birds chirping in the background after the lyric. And I was like, it'd be perfect to get those. So we're running down the street. And I love Silas's like obsession of analog. Like, it's really beautiful how people can just get so obsessed with a certain medium, and they're so into old technology. And they came and recorded on tape, and we drove around town. We went to there's the scene later in the 5:32 video where I'm running and I'm just doing my sort of like screaming. I guess it's sort of just very loud voice or something. I don't know. Maybe it's screaming. But that was just at Silas's studio. And Silas was just willing to run around with me and also be out of breath. And at that point, I had chain smoked about 15 cigarettes just for the video. And then there's this part in 5:32 where it all drops out and it's just sort of jazz music. And in the video, I'm on the ground like, and Silas is just in my face.
Oh,
and it's like it's real. Like, I'm not pretending.
Yeah.
And Silas just knows to keep recording, and that's what I love about it. They're not going to stop and
Capturing
be
the
like,
natural reactions.
yeah. And we always have something to talk about, and it's
Awesome.
Yeah, looking forward to that.
Thank you.
Well, we've been talking about these songs quite a bit. I think it's time that we all get a chance to hear them. Let's transition to that.
Yep.
Sour.
Having conversations in my head, where she said less, I don't think I meant what I said. If I've been dead, would I still feel these thoughts in my head? Been born to shreds, like my unread test, best to ignore.
I'm too boring to open doors to you. I do like to talk about the same damn things I say now. I rap, I paint, I
Bang on these doors, spilling guts on the floor. I'm drained, give me more shit I can't afford. Like drained by my porous, awkward talks.
walk the shoes of men lost in their thoughts. The same things keep crawling in my brain. The same things keep crawling in my brain. The same damn things keep the pain in my head, but the nightmares won't put my demons to rest.
Lie, cry, dying every single day. Why try? I ain't got shit to say. Doomed to repeat my problems. Soon I'll break my promise. Made to myself, by myself. He really wouldn't got no honor. He said I wouldn't be shit. Decline caller, delete voicemail. See me go deep. Hail Mary, jump ball. I'm tall, the shoes getting bigger as I fall. I walk, I ball, get tall every single play. I saw, fly high, now I see my way. Life's repetitive, best not jacked it. Been objecting since first text sent. I've been sexing, I've been waiting.
Spit my fucking way to
Greatest, I've been psycho, I've been high low, I've been cutting fat like lipo. I've been waiting, I've been saying, fuck you, Nick, don't you say shit.
And then this is usually the part of the song where when there's an audience, I'm like, you should applause. And they usually do it. They did it again.
thank you. And thank you to those at home who did it.
I've been waiting, I've been saying I'm up next for about 3 ages. Time's been passing, time's not lasting, time's multiplying. The average speed don't stop. Bottle drops, shattered clocks, shattered thoughts. Been a minute since I've been with all my partners, all my business, Nick Masco. So I float
In existence since I've grown
I
up.
remember when chores were hard, starting projects, no finish, strong down on myself, down with my wealth. I see, I saw, he can't stop you, he can't do what he wants to. You can do what you want to, I can do what I want to.
He can
Help me
too.
he can
Help me.
too.
Who do you think you are? Me.
That's who you think you are. I've been waiting, I've been saying I'm the greatest. Fuck you, pay me. I'm just saying, who is saying
Shit like I do, make like I do, make a
million? There's no ceiling. I've been
million with
a million
thoughts in my head, thoughts in my head.
thoughts in my head, thoughts in my head. Speed don't stop. Bottle drops, shattered clocks, shattered thoughts. Speed don't stop. Bottle drops. Thank you, everybody. This next one is called Damn Preface. Do You Love Me? And usually with the crowd, I just have everybody do a little damn with me. So I'll probably go like, hey.
Damn.
That's all I need. All right, you can press play.
Nights I've wasted waiting for another version of myself. Wealth and fame and fortune off of tunes that I made by myself. 20 clocks keep ticking, quick and sicking in my stomach ache. All I do is wake up and say love, I mean it, just you wait. But I don't consider our problems when I am with her. All it is with her.
Sicker bitch and moan, let out some grounds, another cigarette. Wet and cold. Buffalo's got its hold on me, but I shouldn't bring you down. Fuck, man. Hate that frown. Damn, do you love me? It's implied. Damn, do you hate me? It's implied. Damn, do you love me? It's implied. Damn, do you hate me? No way.
Don't you come near me when I am working. Distractions keep track, I fall apart.
We need medication. We need meditation. LSD and symphony, it's how we keep the sane in. Damn, do you love me? It's implied. Damn, do you hate me? It's implied. Damn, do you love me? You guys scream it. It implied. Damn!
Damn!
Do you hate me? No way. Drugs got thou down the spiral, into whirlpool, into tidal, making waves. Wave goodbye to one of you at a time. Music, pain, and passion. This shit just is not lasting when I'm with you. It's beautiful. Just wish we could see us then. Damn, do you love me? It's implied. Damn, do you hate me? It's implied. Damn, do you love me? It's implied. Damn, do you hate me? No time.
Damn, guys, there was this guy and he was at the local lowdown and he was doing this song and it was just like, damn, man, what the hell are you doing? You almost just said a swear the FCC was gonna get really mad. It's like, damn, like, and you missed your cue there. It's not as funny as it usually is, but like, damn, man, you're just on, like, and this carpeted table is pretty cool, actually. Damn. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Yeah, so this next song is called Wired. So Wired is just a play on tired, and it's sounding like a robot voice. It's not much more complicated than that.
Bam bam.
Da da da.
Also, if I start screaming, don't be scared. Laying in my bed, wondering where the fuck the time went. Playing in my head.
All these situations, all these situations, all these situations.
Laying in my bed, wondering where the time went. Playing in my head.
All these situations, all these situations, all these situations.
Wonder where I would be if I did what I had dreamed. Summer passed, I'm gassed. I've never done and nothing. Laying in my bed, up. I can't even see what I mean. Hit up my friend, what's up? Sorry, I was being so mean. It's all over till it's not. I can still get out of here. Flow like a robot. Sorry, I'm so silly, dear. I get confused too easily. I get repetitive, please bear with me. I am directionless, going north. Maybe I should go sit on the porch.
Laying in my bed, wondering where the time went. Playing in my head, all these situations, all these situations, all these situations. Laying in my bed, wondering where the time went. Playing in my head, all these situations, all these situations, all these situations. Wonder why I always get these traits of motivation. Hate to see myself doing well, continue my
Patience.
either accomplish dreams or live my nightmares. Bad dreams repeating. I wish I knew where I would end up. I feel the end is coming. Nukes, worldwide war. Wouldn't that be something? The world burns out because I was chaos. The waves catch your cities. We just keep staring. Families underwater. Shut. I'll give them a dollar.
The media feeds us lies, weed up the fire.
Wonder what difference one man can make.
Make no mistake, everything you know is fake. Fish islands is the way we see the world. Abstract and unknown, they made it
Obscure. Wonder why I always get these streams of motivation. Hate to see myself doing well, continue my patience.
I always put that one in the middle of the set, and it always hurts.
I'm venting in these songs. I just wanna make some love songs. I'm so sick of getting all these thoughts now. I don't wanna drown you out with thoughts now. Feeling the weight of your lips on my skin. You standing so tall, your eyes I might slip away. Wait! You won't be friends. You'll text me when. Till then we do, but I'll be with my friends. You'll be with yours. I miss your hurt. I miss your back cracks. I know what I learned. Forgive, don't forget. Flowers in beds. I'm gonna just try to get in my bed. You in my head. I miss your bed.
I'm flip-flopping, I don't mean. How you gonna say that the very next day? I got ickies.
How you gonna stay away? Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
This is my last one. You guys ever play Portal? Portal, you know what I'm talking about? I'm the droids right now, or whatever they're called. Turrets. The turrets, yeah. So this next one.
Sorry for being so silly. This next one is called Rice Noodles. This is a very important song to me because I feel like this is my only like true love song. As I said in the last one, I'm so sick of venting in these songs. It's always about something that's going on that's wrong. But Rice Noodles is about this dish me and my partner used to make once a week, and very, very special song to me. And actually just shot the video at Amy's place in Buffalo, so be on the lookout for that. The damn music video is also coming out, and this is the finale, guys. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Balance on my feet, it's getting harder to believe that I made it on my own. Survived this one alone, cause all I got is me, and all you got is you. So blue when you got my back, the trust it gives me heart attacks. So waking up sweating, wonder how my skin healed. Guess it's therapy's the real deal, it just sends a real
Meal heating up the stove.
when you coming home. When you coming back, I've been whipping up that peanut sauce you like. With all the
Broccoli, carrots, spinach, shallots, rice noodles with the 3 eggs in it. Yeah, I've been waiting to dig into it. Then we joke around,
Bobby Hill sitting down the couch while I wait for that coffee table out.
wound up, winding down the only way I know how. Round up the
cats have to make that pussy bone out. Well,
gotta take a nap, end up sleeping till 6 a.m. Then I sleep until 10 a.m. Then I run out of time, gotta be when, where, there goes my whole day. Rush to class, gotta pass all these fucking cards, cause they going last. I can't be late, my play this full, yo, asshole. Get out my way, yo, I'm the asshole. Sheesh. You looking dull on those apple bombs, peachy, dreamy, got me daydreaming, seeing sights that aren't
peasant,
find my mind
yelling,
racing, pace myself, wasting mental health, and I often wonder if it's gonna work, cause we both got school, and we both got work. On top of that, I've been
Showing that it shows that the love that hit me low at my lowest. I ain't easy to deal with.
I blame others, ain't no healing burnt bridges. Stitching won't suffice. I blame my mother, cut her up in time. Listen, girl, hey, I know we're all we got. Listen to our songs, hey, 21 a lot, hop out. And we're driving through the snow. Make up a love story, send Buffalo. I might not like all your posts. Just know I like all your posts. And I hate to be one of those. But would you mind a quick stop at the store? Cause we need all of these
Broccoli, carrots, spinach, shallots, rice noodles with the 3 eggs in it. Yeah, I've been waiting to dig into it. Then we joke around, Bobby
You're sitting down the couch, so I'm waiting for that coffee table out. Wound up, one down the
only way I know how round up the cats have to make that pussy ball now. Well,
gotta take a nap.
and I'm sleeping till 6 a.m. Then I sleep until 10 a.m. Then I run out of time. Gotta be when, where, there goes my whole day. Do the shitty trumpet. Pumping noises. He's screaming, he's really angry. That was my set. Thank you. _NickMass on Instagram or whatever. The local lowdown. That's it.
Thank you so much for that set, Nick. It sounded really great.
It was
we
awesome.
appreciate you
Thank
coming
you.
on short notice, and it was truly an amazing set.
Thank
Definitely
you.
one I'm going to remember for sure. And I got to participate in the local lowdown set, which is probably the first.
Yes.
The audience participation was really fun. I
Yeah.
think we all enjoyed that. We let loose a little bit.
Once in a lifetime.
Yeah. Yeah. Is
Glad
that
to
something you
provide.
do at pretty much every show, or?
I like to. I mean, during certain songs, I don't really promote it that much, but if people pick up on it,
Yeah.
Damn, I pretty much perform every set. I'm a big player hits guy, so like I'm not
Yeah.
gonna have the exact same set every time, but there's a few mainstays, Damn, Wired, and Rice Noodles specifically. So Damn, I always try to get people involved. I always there's usually, I mean, people frequent shows, and I have friends that come and they start doing it, and I don't even have to say like what to do to the crowd.
Yeah.
Then they start doing it, and then I'm just like, and then other people join in.
Yeah.
And then Wired, not really a whole lot of crowd participation, and then I always say with Rice Noodles, like the second time around, you're gonna like it because people like think I'm a weirdo when I do it the first time, and then they're like, this is sweet, and then I'm always like, do it, and then they start doing the trumpet silly noise. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, and I wanted to continue on talking about shows. You have a show coming up on April 20th, so by the time this video comes out, it will have already happened. And it was great.
I know.
Sure.
Yeah.
Thank
It's
you.
awesome.
Yes, but the show on April 20th, it's at Amy's Place with Spiria, Glitch, and Ski Club.
Yes.
How do you feel about being a part of the Buffalo music scene and just participating in it? And how long have you been a part of the scene doing shows?
So I've probably been actually performing sets because, like I said, I did open mics and stuff for a while.
Right.
I probably did open mics for about a year or so before I actually started getting into performances. So that's probably around where it is in 2021. 2022 was the first time I ever had a full set, which was a part of Porch Fest, not the Beaka Porch Fest a year later, but as part of just some other porch.
Okay.
Nice.
So being able to experience that, and then so I did a couple other random shows. Infringement Festival is a big one.
Yep.
And before that was my first Amy's Place performance, was Infringement Festival in front of like 5 people, and I'm still like, yeah, that was still awesome. Like, I mean, it was still great to just be given the opportunity to do that, and Infringement Festival really just gives people first timers experience
Yeah.
on top of other people that
That's
are more
important.
experienced. So I really appreciated that, and then did other random performances. So I was probably at 3 or 4 performances going into my solo exhibition, Puzzles and Pieces, where I did a 30-minute set. And then the big moment and I keep bringing it back, was group chat, group chat
Right.
9. I had another big fan is also shout out Chandra, Sneak Vibin' Blog. Sneak Vibin' Blog is just a huge asset for the entire music community and art scene in Buffalo.
Yeah, they really keep up with it.
They really do, and Chandra is one of the hardest workers I know. So props, and very aware of all of the music that is going on. But Chandra had reposted, I believe, Chango's story that said, like, we need performers for group chat. Messaged them. They were like, messaged Wavy. I was like, I want to perform. Wavy was like, cool, you're there. And I'm like, do you want to hear any music? And they're like, doesn't matter, you're performing. And I'm like, you're insane. But they let me do it. And my friend Ernie was in from, they kind of hop between Rochester and New York City. They were in Rochester at the moment. Beautiful voice. I was like, can you do background vocals for me?
Awesome.
And Ernie do group chat. And then that was sort of my first experience playing at a show with, like, people at it. Like, there was a lot of people at my solo exhibition, but it's like everybody's there for me. And that's, like, cool, but, like, experiencing just an audience that is unfamiliar with you. And, like, Group Chat 9 was, like, a pivotal moment in my life. And then I started getting some other random performances here and there. And then the big ones were, like, the Porch Fest in the summer and Group Chat. And then I organized a show called Foursquare, which was I shoot a lot of Polaroid photography, and
nice.
I just wanted to put together a show that had 4 people. I was driving in the car. I was like, it'd be cool if it was Foursquare, if it was 4 Polaroids for the flyer. And then I just based, and then,
yes.
yeah.
Yes.
And then I
that.
so that was my first experience after the open mic I ran in, like, 2022 of, like, curating an event again, having learned from Group Chat. I actually did an interview with Wavy that's not, like, published or anything, but just for my personal, like, how did you do this? Like, how did you make Group Chat so interactive? How did you make it so that people were so happy? How did you get this range of music? How did you make this work? This was a cultural moment in Buffalo. And they gave me some advice. They answered my questions. I did Foursquare, which was me, Jazzy J, Suave Neek, and Julian Gray. Shout out to all of them. And it was just a super great day. I was chefing the entire day. I was serving food. I went on
Home
stage.
cook?
Yeah, I went on stage in my apron. Suave had a great set. Jazzy closed it off. Julian had the crowd going. There was people jumping for Julian. And there was just games there. There was, like, I don't know, Uno and chess in the back and Connect 4, just something for people to do, some live painting and vendors and, shout out Vic and Gio. But, yeah, it's just sort of like that's how you make it work, is you bring the whole community together. And Foursquare was super important as far as, like, me, like, telling the music scene in Buffalo, like, that, like, I want to be a part of what we have going on. And I'm not just devoted into promoting myself, but that everybody, like, I want to see us succeed.
Yeah.
And I'm actually putting together 4 Foursquares this summer.
Awesome.
So that'll be announced. That flyer will drop in the next couple days for the first one on May 10th. And then Jazzy J will be hosting all of that, and I'll be chefing my curated shows and lots of cool artists.
Yeah, there you go. That's awesome.
Well, I wanted to come in with a question. We talked a little bit about phone addiction, which I'm a very big culprit of, and I'm working on it. I was just telling these guys back here, I deleted Instagram. So if you mention an Instagram video in this question, I'm screwed. But anyways,
You'll
the
be
question
back.
is, out of all the things you've ever seen on the said social media platforms or YouTube, which is also one, what video sticks out? What video comes to mind when you think of the internet or picture?
The internet in general, or just music videos, or
Anything.
the internet? This is so broad. Oh my God. Is it a good idea to microwave this?
That's the video?
It's a series. one of the first YouTube series that was ever created. I suggest you binge watch it. Is It a Good Idea to Microwave This? Was started by 3 guys that discovered YouTube. YouTube had been around for about a year. They're like, let's pop stuff in a microwave.
I have a friend who would absolutely watch that if he hasn't already.
I'm sure just tell them, please.
Yeah.
And please watch some. But they just started microwaving stuff. They did about a season of it, mostly like small random items, nothing of really is it a good idea to microwave a spatula or whatever? Mm-hmm. And then it would melt and be on fire, and they'd be like, cool, whoa. And then after the first season, it picked up and sort of just gained traction. And then they were like, send us stuff. Here's a P.O. box. Then they started getting crazy stuff.
Oh.
Yeah.
So they had a microwave. And the microwaves die after a while because it's fire and stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
They would name the microwave like a girl's name, and then when they died, they were like, my wife or whatever. I don't know. But the Good Idea as a Microwave is so good. But yeah, so then they started doing more and more dangerous stuff, like Is It a Good Idea to Microwave Firecrackers, which sort of culminated in somebody sent them an airbag. And then it's like, is it a good idea to microwave an airbag? So they started using more protection. They started hiding behind a door because
They weren't before?
Yeah.
No, they weren't. Stuff started to get dangerous, so they had this door that was glass. And it's like, that's not going to protect you. That's going to be worse. So they covered it in a tinfoil shield, they called it, which was just tinfoil wrapped around a door.
Oh, no.
The idea was if the glass breaks, it won't shoot out because the tinfoil will encapsulate it.
Okay.
They microwaved the airbag. They walked away from the microwave. It takes like 3 seconds from the garage that they're in to get to behind the door. Mm-hmm. They close the door. Immediately, all the lights in the garage go out. They hear an explosion, and they feel the door jiggle or whatever, or like it's just impact.
What?
And something hit the door and pierced and broke all the glass and didn't go for the tinfoil shield. The tinfoil shield held all the glass together. Like, it's just ridiculous because it was essentially a joke. But it actually
And then it proved true.
It proved true and saved their life. And then there's just this, so they have like this intro that they cut together of audio, and it's just all random stuff they said. And one of the last things before like the title card pops up, it's like, the tinfoil shield, it actually works. And it's
I like it.
Maybe we should show them that's what we show them, the intro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It smells like victory. All hands to the deck.
Nobody likes roasted nuts.
Let's get out of here.
Ventilation is key.
What are you doing? What the hell?
Does it still work? You're dumb.
The masks, they do nothing.
Stuffing.
I broke the window. 2.7.
Is it a good idea to microwave this?
Yeah.
And people will see it.
They will.
shout out 2010 YouTube or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, we've talked a lot about your release and the music video for 532, the upcoming ones. Are there any other shows or just news that you want to talk about for the audience to hear?
Yeah, well, I guess I'll just talk about May, because May is a big, big month for me that I've been preparing for a long time, I guess in the last 2 months. But May starts out with the first Foursquare, I guess the second Foursquare, but the first Foursquare of the year, which will be at Buffalo Institute for Contemporary Art in the garage space.
Nice.
It'll be 4 performers, all hip-hop artists.
Nice.
There'll be 4 vendors. There'll be 4 games. There'll be 4 menu items. There'll be 4 different visual artists hanging stuff on the walls. It'll really just be a culmination of a lot of different people that are working in the art scene and music scene in Buffalo.
Awesome.
Super, super proud of the work me and Jazzy J have done for that, and also Beacon School. And then May 17th is the group chat reunion. Not announced yet. Wavy said it was okay for me to say it here. But, yeah, so the group chat reunion show, May 17th, at Hot Mama's Canteen, as it's always been.
The return.
The return. And then May 22nd to May 30th, I'm doing a sketchbook exhibition show, so that's not my personal sketchbooks. I just fell in love with sketchbooks as I was in my fine art program and looking through other people's. And I think it's a really good way to dive into a person's personal life and like see who they are. I mean, it's very much like a diary, a visual diary, and sometimes a real diary with notes. Yeah. So the opening for that is May 25th at Crucible Art Collective. And then I am a Hunt resident, so Hunt Gallery is a gallery in Buffalo, and I'm a resident there. My residency, I have a studio there. My residency ends in just like 3 or 4 more weeks. And our group show for that, me and my fellow group members are having our show on May 31st, which is the opening. And yeah, May is just every single weekend for me. So if you're interested in what I have going on, art, music, creative dude, it's _Nick Mass on Instagram. I have tons and tons to announce that I've been working very hard on. And a show at Amy's Place on 420. You're going to miss that. But yeah, and then I'm performing myself at Foursquare on June 14th, along with some very good friends of mine. So
awesome. Well, that all sounds great. And also, thank you very much for coming on today.
Really
that concludes this episode of the Local Lowdown. But yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much for having me, guys.
Yeah.
And thank you for tuning in to the Local Lowdown on 88.9 WCVF The Voice and 89.5 WDVL The Inferno. We'll be back next week with some more colorful local music. Same time,
same place. Bye.
I love you.
Wake up in the dawn, I'm like birthday, do things to do. I took off, brush my teeth, spit on the mucus. I need to get more crush, easy, listen to the birds, smoke away my hunger. Breakfast makes me tired, cigarettes make me go longer. Microdose my lungs, try not to think about pushing next girl out my life. I've been hugging this new girl, assuring her new leaves are turning. Fall is coming in.
Buckets of shit, bucket to the beat. All we do is fucking it. Maybe we'll go in.
Wake up, baby girl, I just wanna sleep in. I know it's 5:32, I'm sorry I've been staying up so late. I know it's past your bedtime. I just wanna have some fun.